welcome to Back to the Monday Night War plus Ground Zero pay-per-view, and we'll tell you why it's not separate. I'm Cab Manning, along with Mr. Billy Body.
Hello. Sorry.
So, he's been blowing me. Sorry, folks. It's just dry mouth. So the reason why we're going to do Ground Zero together with this is we said on one of our other shows that since the network has changed their little host and all that kind of stuff and changed things around, Ground Zero fucking disappeared. And I'm really waiting for that whole Conrad show to do a review of Ground Zero, because I bet you they fix it then. I bet you they fucking suck some dick and fix it. But for our show, they go tell us to go fuck ourselves. However, I broke out a videotape, and it was very interesting watching an old fucking videotape, my VHS, because I had them all on tape. So I went back and watched. However, you will not have any clips, because if you had a clip, it would be me holding up the fucking phone to the television to get a clip. And it's kind of like, who gives a shit at that point? So we can go over real quick what the card was, and then let you know of a little couple things, and then we will get into the war for the day after Ground Zero for Nitro.
I can't believe you have a VHS player.
Oh, fuck yeah. I got 400 videotapes. You think I'm not going to have a player? Fuck that. All that time and effort? You kidding me? So when the network goes down, I'll be able to break out Raw. I won't be able to watch Nitro, but I'll have Raw. So this is the very first ever 3-hour in your house. And the free-for-all, a lot of showing the Patriot without the mask. I actually watched the free-for-all for this. And they were doing a lot of things about, they were talking about who Del Wilkes was, and they would show half his face and things like that. And I was like, well, this is odd. He's a masked guy without a mask now. So here's the deal. It's Pillman versus Goldust. If Pillman wins, he gets Marlena for a month. If he loses, he is gone. As we know, Goldust accepted this. So, Pillman versus Goldust. Pillman wins this one because Marlena tries to use a loaded purse, but Pillman takes it and uses it on Goldust. Serves him right for trying to cheat. So, now is when business will pick up, because we get Pillman with Marlena. And I've been watching, Billy, to jump ahead. I thought Marlena looked fantastic when she was with Pillman.
Yeah.
You see that picture I sent you with the nose ring and the no panties or the thong with the fucking short little black shirt? Oh, skirt? My goodness.
Yeah.
Putski. Scott Putski versus Brian Christopher. I remember this when it happened. And I was like, oh, I'm going to see this come happen again here. He dislocated his patella. And yes, and his kneecap shot off his fucking leg, and I'm like, oh fuck! And so he didn't get up, and right away you think, oh, did this kind of fuck him over, because he was never seen again, not in WWE at least. And it's like, oh, did they shit on him because he didn't finish the match, or did they allow it? Because remember when Eugene had that happen to him?
No, I don't remember that.
Eugene had it happen to him on a drop kick. And it flew off, and I remember him being on the ground, holding his leg, thrashing around like a fucking crazy person, like a retard, actually. And they just stopped the match. Like, he didn't even try to continue. He's like, fuck this. My leg's fucked up. So, Brian Christopher wins this, obviously by the count out. Triple threat, and this is from the Old Nation. Savio versus Farouk versus Crush. I figure they need to give Savio the win, so Savio got the win. And then you have... Max Mini versus El Torito. How fucking bizarre is this? That this is
it's weird that it's a bit of a piss take. They go to 3 hours, and then they make it quite clear that they need to do stuff like this to fill it out.
Yeah, we get a lot of minis in the next few weeks. Max Mini wins this one because he's 80 pounds, and they're like, we're gonna make a fucking star of him. Slaughter's with JR in the ring, and dude comes and gives up the belt. Austin shows up and stuns JR. Fatal 4-way for the tag belts. Headbangers versus the Hogs versus Bulldog and Owen versus LOD. And Headbangers win this one because this is for the vacated titles.
Right.
LOD's out first from a DQ, and then you get the Godwins out, and then last out is Owen and Bulldog, which is interesting because Headbangers just slid in out of nowhere, and they said, fuck it, let's give them the titles, which I enjoyed. I like the Headbangers. Austin stuns Owen, and that's how these belts change hands. Austin stuns Owen, and that's how they get the pin. You got Patriot versus Brett for the world title, the WWE title. It's a sharpshooter, but he doesn't give up, which I'm like, well, how did he lose? He doesn't.
Yeah, I remember him giving up here. I remember that, being surprised it was a clean finish. Like, what happened then?
I don't know. I was like hard to see what the fuck they were doing here, because I'm like, well, he's a good guy, so he's not, Mr. America and all that stuff. And it was like, I think they almost messed up, or like it wasn't clear, or they didn't have it on camera. There's something. Taker versus HBK is the other main event here. This is the last match, and it's funny because Sean is fucking crazy at this point. He's spitting in the crowd, and then he's like simulating sucking dick. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, I remember all this because they've got they use clips of this like various times just to show like how much of a dick Shawn Michaels was.
Yeah, he's doing a big stroking of the dick and playing with balls and everything. I'm like, holy fuck. So that is your that's Ground Zero.
Well, you didn't say what happened in the match. The match was a non-finish.
Yeah, I don't even have any circled on here because I'm like, how is that the end? And actually, that's why I didn't mention it, because I'm like, I don't have a note.
They kept knocking out referees, and then all the jobbers from the roster come out, and Undertaker just dives on top of them. That's the end of the. That's the big ending.
I'm glad you knew it, because I'm like, well, how come I didn't write that down?
Yeah, because I remember it from watching it back then. Because I remember when I was younger, I was curious about who they. You know how normally like you can always guess like the result, and it's really interesting when they make a match and you don't know who's going to win. Like with us at the King of the Ring at the moment, it's more interesting because you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And this was one of those times where you didn't know who they get. Michaels had just turned bad, so he has to win. But Undertaker lost his title, so he had to win. And in the end, they didn't let any of them win, so they got out of it.
So following this, on Monday, you have Ground Zero, the after show, the day after Ground Zero, as they say. And it starts off Vince with Sergeant Slaughter in the ring. And Austin is told he needs to hand over the IC belt. He comes out. I mean, they got to give something for Austin to do at this point. So he's in like a million different segments.
Well, they started it the night before because he can be physical, and he was in loads of stuff last night as well because he got to stun Jim Ross in the interview, and then
Owen later
when he was giving up the tag titles, and then he got involved in the tag match as well.
Mm-hmm. So
I guess he just got cleared here because before that he wasn't doing shit. He wasn't like touching. I mean, he whacked Owen Hart with a belt or something on Raw. Yeah, Slammy, that's it.
Yeah, and so it's like he could deliver things and he could fall on his ass. It's like, don't do anything where you're, landed on your fucking neck back, shit like that. So that's fine for him. Here is the clip of the stunner that he gives to Sergeant Slaughter.
You come out here and talk about law and order, but what you don't understand, jackass, is that it?
Wait a minute. Show a little respect, please.
I ain't respecting nobody in this ring, and that's the bottom line. I'll break every damn law you can make, and can't nobody stop me.
I will.
No, you won't. You sit here and you say, that's an order, this is an order, that's an order. Hell, I can look at you, son, and the only thing you've been ordering is a whole bunch of damn cheeseburgers.
Whoa!
You sit there and watch your little doctor's reports, and you say, you can't wrestle because you hurt your little neck. Like you're supposed to be concerned about my welfare. Son, you ain't been in my house. By the way they're paying me while I'm hurt, pretty soon I'll be on welfare. Talk about delivering a title. You talk about me delivering the Intercontinental title. The only thing that I'll deliver is a big can of whoop ass right to your front door.
Slaughter's sweating bullets.
Do I make myself clear?
No! Oh, God! No! Oh, my God! Austin, he just attacked the commissioner! Good God Almighty! The commissioner of the World Wrestling Federation has just been assaulted by Stone Cold! Well, I can assure you that'll be it for Austin. He's out of here!
So this is Austin. Like now they're trying to throw him out of the building. And he's like, "Fuck you, I ain't going," all that kind of stuff, and going through this. This is the like you're waiting for the stunner on Vince. Like this is coming up. You know what I mean? So
What's that? Sorry, say that. You cut off for 1 second there. What was that?
I'm saying it's like we're all waiting for that stunner on Vince because it's coming.
Oh, yeah, the Garden, yeah.
Yeah. Brett gets on a microphone after this and just shits talks Cincinnati because that's where they are. And we get a no-holds-barred match, and it is Vader versus Brett, non-title. And Bulldog and the Heart show up, and then Austin shows up. So it's a no contest again. Everybody just, runs in there and starts beating up everybody. Like that Vader's a good guy because he's Mr. America. So that's how he turned good. The history of how the Headbangers won the tag belts from last night, they play that. And then the Godwins call out the Headbangers and say, "This is bullshit. You didn't beat us. Come back. We won a rematch." I'm like, well, they kind of beat them. But so you get Godwins versus the Headbangers non-title match. Godwins win this match. Because what happens, Uncle Cletus shows up with a lucky fucking horseshoe. And I was like, Jesus Christ. You imagine they tell old TL Hopper, okay, go fucking grow your beard. And now you're going to dye your hair and you're just going to be another person.
You can be a manager,
yeah. Yeah. So he comes out there with a lucky horseshoe. And he said, "Oh, the boys called me. I'm Uncle Cletus." IC tournament, because Austin gave up that belt. You get Dude Love versus Pillman in the first round. And Pillman gets on the phone. And he's like, "I'm not coming down there until you guarantee my safety because Dustin's going to be around. I'm not having Goldust being some bullshit." So we get the first installment of Brian Pillman's X-Files.
Hey, Goldust. Hey, Goldust, it's me, Brian Pillman. I'm on the phone from home. Sorry I can't be there tonight in person, but I'm not about to enter that arena until the WWF can guarantee me and Marlena a safe environment. Besides, I'm physically exhausted from last night.
I knew it!
Whew. She's a real dynamo. But even though I can't be there in person, I had a little tape made. And if the producer could be so kind to play it for us right now.
Oh my gosh.
Part 1 of Brian Pillman's X-Files.
Oh my gosh. Brian Pillman left with, no. Woohoo!
Hi, Dustin. Welcome to Brian Pillman's X-Files, Day 1. I gotta give you credit, though. I've been on the road 10 years. 2-time All-American, world-class athlete, NFL. And look at me. I'm exhausted, but for good reason. And you'll see that later when I show you this room. And I thought she was just spunky. She's a machine. She's an animal. But she's awfully good. Oh, gee. I hate it when that happens. But you know what? Nothing comes between my Calvin Kleins and me. Except, of course, your wife, Terry. Oh my goodness, what happened here last night? Somebody started a riot in here? And look at this bed. Look at it. Feel that thing. I have to get some new box springs from this baby tomorrow. Dustin, it's almost 10 o'clock. Do you know where your wife is? Well, I do. Because part 2 of Pillman's X-Files is going to be live and in Technicolor.
And Goldust.
Hey,
Watch
Goldust,
that.
are you a little shaken up? Well, maybe you can straighten yourself out a little later on when I show you part 2 of the real good stuff.
Goldust, last night, in a matchup where he lost his wife for 30 days to Brian Pillman.
You know what they say, McMahon?
What?
Split happens.
I absolutely loved the fucking Triple X Files. What did you think back in the day?
Yeah, we loved him then and now.
Yeah, still, it doesn't get old. It's fucking great. I'm sad because you're like, you know, in a month he's dead. In a fucking month he's dead.
Yeah,
terrible. I'm like, fuck, because wasn't the fucking rumor? Wasn't it supposed to be Marlena was supposed to turn on Dustin though? Like when she was finally gonna be given her freedom.
Yeah, there was supposed to be. I think what they had booked was. Well, we'll see what it is as the Raws go through. But I think it's pretty much a match to win her back. I think if Dude Love beat Pillman, then Goldust would get him for like 5 minutes or something. I think she would have turned in. I don't know.
See, I don't remember that part. I thought maybe because it was like he had to have her for the 30 days anyway or something. So you're right. We'll watch.
Yeah, but he wants Pillman. I think if Dude Love beats Pillman, then Goldust gets him in a cage or something. I can't remember what they end up doing. We'll obviously see on the TV.
You get the minis, a mini match, which is like, oh fuck. Like I said, we're getting these fucking minis all the time. So this is nonsense. You know, we don't. I could care less about this kind of shit. But however, it is the very first announcement of Hell in a Cell.
For those of you that were with us last night on pay-per-view, you know what we were talking about, the all-out war last night. Of course, the encore is tomorrow night.
Undertaker, firstly, your reaction to last night at Ground Zero.
Last night, Shawn Michaels and I opened the gates of hell. I felt his fire, and he was burned by mine. Michaels, to your credit, you looked death right in the eye, and you never blinked. But last night was only the beginning, for I will never rest until the flesh is rotting from your bones.
If we could speak a bit about your reaction to what's been termed Hell in the Cell. Your reaction to the return match in which
This gigantic cage is going to be constructed around the perimeter of the ring to make sure that no wrestler, indeed no interference from any individual, can take place so that we can finally have the true victor. Your reaction to the Hell in the Cell match at Bad Blood?
Bad Blood, Hell in the Cell, call it what you must. What it is the beginning of the end. Michaels, there's no way out. And there's no way anyone can get in. So what that means is you look into the eyes of the Reaper and you pay for your crimes. And that, Shawn Michaels, is when the music stops and the tolling of the bell begins.
Undertaker, why don't you go ring your bells someplace else? Last night at Ground Zero, you and the World Wrestling Federation backed the Heartbreak Kid into a corner. And I barely, just barely escaped with my life. But the fact of the matter is, I escaped. And you want to know why? Because the Heartbreak Kid is a survivor. A survivor. And in Hell in the Cell, I will survive. But Undertaker, just in case you think by some stroke of luck, some stroke of genius, that you can bring me down, I want you to remember one thing. I'm not going down alone. If I'm going in that coffin, you, my friend, are coming along with me.
The only thing you need to rest assured of, Shawn Michaels, is that Hell in the Cell, you will rest in peace.
Well, St. Louis, Missouri, get ready for the WWF on October the 5th. And folks, if you didn't see that war last night at Ground Zero, King, they missed
After
something.
that, you get the Undertaker interview on the Titantron, or an interview in the ring, and then HBK shows up on the Titantron, and it's pretty much shit talking about each other, and that this is from the announcement that there's going to be a Hell in a Cell match, and Shawn, of course, gets to be in the first one. Sunny interviews the Hart Foundation. Sunny looking all the way live as only she could look. They're trying to give her something to do because she has zero to fucking do. Not managing anyone, nothing. IC tourney continues, and it is Owen versus Goldust. It is a disqualification because Austin comes in and shows up and starts beating the shit out of fucking Owen. Pillman's on the phone again with some more videotape. I laughed that he's in his underwear. Oops, my fucking robe fell off. Oops, my towel. Hart Foundation's in the back and talks. The Bulldog is jumped on the way to the ring by Shawn Michaels and HBK because there's supposed to be a triple threat tonight, and it's supposed to be Savio versus the Patriot versus Bulldog. Now and they're like,
it was weird that this was the main event of Raw.
Yeah, and they were like, well, we got to push Triple H, I guess. We got to get him in there. So this is a way to get him in. HBK commentates. Triple H wins. And Hart Foundation shows up afterwards. And that's how they go off the air for this. Going into Nitro, this is the go-home show for Fall Brawl. And it starts off with Bischoff in the ring. Or no, not Bischoff in the ring. Bischoff goes to the booth because Tony Schiavone says, this last week's parody of the Horseman will never be seen ever again. I'll be sure of it. And Bischoff gets over there and says, fuck you, play the tape. So before the tape is over, the Horsemen now show up at the booth and call out the NWO. And then you get Gene in the ring with the Horsemen, talking about how they're going to fucking teach them a lesson at this fall brawl, and they're going to get the NWO. And I found it funny because Mongo, they're in Green Bay. So when they're good guys in Green Bay, until Mongo gets the microphone wearing his Bears stuff, and everyone fucking boos him and he yells at him, "Shut up, Packer fans." I'm like, yeah, it doesn't change. They're like, fuck staying in character and ignoring all that. Eddie versus Mysterio. Mysterio wins. Then you get DDP with Mean Gene again, and Lex shows up, and they say, "All right, you want to go tonight?" It's like two good guys who want to fight. Okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna give it our all. We make a deal. Yes. Okay, we'll fight tonight. Disco Inferno. Disco. Is that his name? Disco Inferno?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that sounded weird to me. I'm like, was it Disco Inferno? God. Disco Inferno versus Hugh Morris. Hugh Morris sounds more normal than Disco Inferno. Alex Wright shows up and throws the belt to Disco, which is very odd to me. Because Disco is dead on his back, and Hugh Morris is going to go do his No Laughing Matter moonsault. And Alex throws the belt into him, and I'm like, oh, okay, he's helping him now. And he's holding the belt, but when Hugh lands on him, it fucks him up even more. And so he just gets pinned, and he's done. And it's like, well, I think they're getting toward them being friends, but you can't tell at this point. Nash, Six, Buff, and Conan talk in the ring, and Buff and Conan say they will take on two of the Horsemen tonight. Brad Armstrong versus Jericho with his new, yet-to-be even made Y2J music. There's a disqualification. Jericho wins this one. He hasn't yet lost the AEW title yet in this federation. Eddie shows up before this whole match starts. It's weird. Like, all the fucking cruiserweight people like show up. They say, I want a match for Sunday. He wants a match. He doesn't want to wait till Sunday. He wants it now. But they go on anyway. But then everybody, like, they get attacked during this match and all that kind of shit. Jericho gets jumped. Now you have Bischoff in the ring. And we're going to play you this clip. Bischoff is in the ring. And a fake Sting drops down. A mannequin of Sting, and it doesn't stop, so it goes flying at the ground, and they do a whole, oh my god, this isn't supposed to happen. They fucking, I'm like, oh, this is fucking very close to Owen Hart shit. I'm like, he goes straight to the ground, and they're like, hey, get on the mic, or help, somebody get out here, get him some help, this wasn't supposed to happen, and all that shit. So they do that, and then they make fun of, oh, haha. But the people in the building probably really think this is real because it got silent in there.
Yeah, what, the fans?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? Because I wonder if the time when that Owen Hart thing happened, if people thought that wasn't real.
Oh, I bet you. Because didn't, who the fuck... Terry Funk, I think, said it was bullshit, right? Then he go, don't be a fucking mark. I'm telling you, it's fucking fake or something like that.
What? Where did he say that?
God, who fucking said it? I'm like, was it Terry Funk or was it? I think it might have been Russo, actually. Who the fuck? Someone said, dude, I'm telling you, it's a fucking work. Don't be a mark. It was like, ooh. It was on one of those fucking shows that I think Jericho did or something like that, where it was a tribute to the anniversary.
I've heard Russo say that about the screw job.
Yeah, this one was for this. There was one about Owen, and it was like.
But this was Russo's. But this was Russo's fault. So like he said, this is one of the reasons he wanted to leave.
Oh, then it had to be Terry Funk then. It had to be Terry Funk because he's like, dude, I'm telling you, he's like, don't fall for it. Like, oh,
dude,
fuck.
I'm telling you what, Owen Hart's still alive somewhere.
No, when it happened, and people were calling around, and he's like, dude, it's a fucking work. So
he's admitted to saying that to people. Is that what you mean?
Oh yeah, like he was saying this to people, like, oh, dude, because people are like, oh my god, Owen's fucking dead, and they're like, it's part of the fucking story. What do you believe of this? What are you, an idiot? It's like, ooh, oops. It turned out, yeah, he's really dead. Okay, so here is the clip with the fake Sting falling from the ceiling.
He loves each and every one of you as much as you love him.
Pass me that barf bag.
Is this too good or what, Hollywood?
To get down to basics, all you NWOites. The reason everybody is here, like the rest of the bras in the NWO say, is because you're here for the end.
Oh, music to his ears!
Now, to switch gears, to address a certain subject. No more crybabies around here. Ric Flair, you're not the man. I'm the man, brother. I'm the man that made professional wrestling. I'm the man with the biggest guns in the business. And I'm the man that is the only God in this ring.
The man who made wrestling famous around the world, Hollywood. I love it.
I'm just too big, I'm too rich, and I'm too tan for anybody around here. Now, number one, we don't play no more stinking games. We take care of all the family business. Nobody ever again touches one hair on the chinny chin chin of Mr. Bischoff. Number two, the brothers of the NWO are gonna take care of some family business for me tonight. Right here tonight. Bagwell and K-Dog. And number three, I'm putting the title on the line. I'm tired of that so-called loser, that so-called hero with his two fans in the front row. Sting, who's gonna be stung. I'm tired of his mouth. The title's on the line. Bring him out here. I'm gonna waste him tonight because he's definitely not qualified to get in the ring with me any other time. He hasn't beaten anybody. He's been hiding from me, and I'm sick of his big mouth. I'm gonna beat him like the little wiener dog that he is. Get him out here.
Hollywood, speaking of waste, my friend, we are wasting our time because Sting is nothing more than a coward. And each and every one of you people know, don't you?
Uh-oh.
You better look up. You better look under the ring. What are you pointing at?
Get that coward out here, I'll kill him.
You better look in every dark corner of the Wisconsin Center.
You better look for the door.
The chant of "We Want Sting." And Hogan basically said, bring him out.
He said he put the title on the line tonight. Where is he?
Oh, yeah.
Where's that coward at?
Here he comes.
Oh my God! What's going on? Get somebody out here!
Oh, no. Oh, no. What in the world has happened?
Get somebody out here! He's not breathing. Get somebody out here! Get somebody out here! Get an ambulance over here! Oh my goodness! Get somebody out here!
We got him. Get out of here.
Get somebody out here! He's not breathing.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Get that camera out of here!
You know, this is, this is bizarre. I mean,
That wasn't supposed to happen, Dillinger. Who's rigging that crap up there? Huh?
we need to get a camera in there to take a look.
It's out here.
No.
Did you see the speed with which he fell out of the ceiling?
Yeah, it looked like whatever control that just lost it, it just drove him right to the ground. That was not supposed to happen.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Get him in here.
Just.
Oh, no.
Well, that fooled us all. I mean, that's obviously a...
You know something, Stinger? Show the world what a coward you are. That was not supposed to happen. This was. Huh? Tell him that Hulk Hogan's the greatest in the world.
All right, so the Steiners versus the Faces of Fear. And they're pushing Faces of Fear pretty good here. All the tag teams show up, so it's another no contest. And then you get Scott Hall versus Callow. God. They needed to see this match. Ray Traylor shows up after the match is done to get in Scott Hall's face. And Hogan shows up. They just beat the shit out of him and spray paint him. I'm like, well, that's how you make an entrance there, Ray Traylor. And assert your dominance. Just get whooped. Malenko versus Psychosis. Malenko wins. A fan jumps in the ring, and the smallest referee they have takes down the fucking fan.
Is this the Ray Taylor babyface term was just last week, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, where he's like, I'm a man. I'm Ray Traylor.
Oh, because they didn't send him any cards.
Yeah.
All right.
NWO didn't send me a card. So after that, now we have Jeff Jarrett's on the microphone. He challenges Dean Malenko. He after that match is over, he wants him tonight. And you got Mean Gene with the new chairman of WCW since J.J. Dillon is out. Have a listen.
Tony, how would you like to have to go home to that every night? Got to be a real pleasure. Poor McMichael. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard about it through the course of this program. We're getting to the point in WCW Monday Nitro where we're going to introduce to you the new acting chairman of the Executive Committee of World Championship Wrestling. Before we do it, you recall what happened recently to Mr. J.J. Dillon. He has been injured. He is out of action. He will not be able to render decisions. So in the meantime, they had a meeting earlier today in Atlanta, Georgia, and they have elected a new acting chairman for the Executive Committee of World Championship Wrestling. I don't know who he is. It's been kept under, I guess, wraps to this point. So join me as I welcome our new chairman.
Oh, I know that music. I know who that is.
There can only be one person.
He's back.
The icon. Rowdy.
Paulie Toledo.
Piper.
You got it.
They are standing here in Milwaukee for that man, Roddy Piper.
Mr. Acting Chairman, may I be the first to say congratulations.
It's like putting John Belushi in charge of the frat house. You folks ain't seen nothing yet.
And that's mild.
I got an idea. We had better hold on to our hats.
Hang on. I have been president of the WWF.
Well, a very popular position.
And now I'm chairman of the board because I can't be fooled. I don't take dives and I don't do windows. I ain't putting up with no whining wrestlers. When I tell you to eat your broccoli, you're gonna eat your broccoli. As long as J.J. Dillon is out, I am in, and I'm going to tell you 3 things tonight I'm changing right away. First of all, there's been a guy hanging from the rafters for a long time. There's been a guy in here with a well-dressed tan that's been saying he wants Sting. Well, it seems to me that it must be my job to create this. If Sting wants Hogan, and if Hogan wants Sting like he says, I say that I will do my best to take these 2, put them in the ring, and what I say, we put them and give them a world title, and we do it before 1997.
Before the year is out, that would be a big one.
It will happen. Number 2, Hogan. Hogan wants everybody. Let me make your dreams come true. I am the only man that has an open contract from the last Halloween Havoc that Hogan has signed that old airhead back there's forgot about. Well, I have a proposition. This is what I'm going to do. I'm the chairman, right? I can do what I want, right?
You can.
Okay, this is it, boys. Halloween Havoc, a 20-foot steel cage. Hogan, Piper inside.
Oh.
We fight till the finish.
Yeah.
I will make Mike Tyson look like a vegetarian. I will make Hogan look like he's got the E. coli. I will bring the hell back to Halloween Havoc.
Oh.
Hey, he's the chairman.
That's 2.
What is number 3?
Number 3. I watched Nitro last week like everybody else. I watched the Brady Bunch do the skit about the 4 horsemen. The only one I can't figure out is which one's Marsha. They couldn't have been more obnoxious if they had Barney the Purple Dinosaur with them. They want to walk the walk. They want to talk the talk. What they're trying to do is fool us all. War Games, I'm taking Lex Luger and Diamond Dallas Page. I'm taking them out. Their heads ain't square. I'm taking the 4 horsemen, and I'm taking the NWO, and I'm putting them in.
You gotta be kidding me. Oh. A bombshell.
We're gonna find out at the end of that match who bellies up to the bar or who just bellies up. Good night, says the chairman.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he shocked our socks off tonight, the new acting chairman of the WCW Championship Committee, Rowdy Roddy Piper, and I've got a feeling, Tony, Bobby, Mike today, I've got a feeling she's a whole new ball game.
So, Roddy Piper's back. He's been gone for a while. So, he's back, and he's making all kind of changes in here, and talking a lot of shit. Even mentions WWE, all that kind of stuff. So, Flair and Kurt Hennig versus Buff and Conan. Flair and Hennig, they win, and they go over by like a lot of time. Remember, they were like, oh, we're going to continue on. Don't leave. We're still going to finish all the matches tonight. It was like way past time.
Right.
Because then we still have DDP versus Luger. So they had to go at least an hour and a half, or they had to go a half hour over.
What did the network time clock at? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I remember looking at it and being like, that's fucking long. Because the Mean Gene with, when he started interviewing Piper, it was at an hour and 23. And you know that interview's at least fucking 10 to 15 minutes.
Right.
So that should be the 2 hours. It's more than 15 minutes for commercials in 2 hours. So after that, of course, during the DDP Luger match, the NWO shows, and then the Giant shows to help them out. Because you know how there's always, whatever main event there is, it's not going to work because everybody always joins in. So that, go ahead.
everybody has contracts, so they don't have to lose. So
it's like, how do we get out of this? Let's have big main events, but nobody wins here. So that is your Back to the Monday Night War show, Billy, along with Ground Zero. I think we covered it well in an actual timely fashion, like we've promised for the last few. But we try to make this timely, but there are a lot of clips, and to choose only here and there clips, and then sometimes they're long, it's the way it is. This is the way the show's going to be.
I shaved a lot of clips off this week because there was Bret Hart going into the ring where he's like, "Oh, you idiots of Cincinnati," and Sonny with the Hart Foundation, and there was a few, and
quite a bit.
Yeah, but in the end, you have to get it down, especially on these live shows, because these shows after the pay-per-view are better. They used to be back in the day. They don't care anymore.
There could have been 8 clips by itself on Nitro. 8 by itself. So it is rough. So we try to give you just the best that was talked about on there. And let's see, Raw could have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clips as well. So you would have been here listening to the whole fucking show of Nitro and Raw if we would have done that whole thing. So hope you enjoyed the show. We will be...
One thing I wanted to point out. You know where we've had 2 weeks of Raw?
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that that Friday night show that they didn't even plug on Raw?
No.
They showed clips of it where Bret Hart had been facing Vader and he'd been beating him up, and it was like Friday night main event or something.
Oh, it was like a bullshit show. Yes. Yeah,
it was on for 2 weeks. And basically it was Raw, but on Fridays, and it was called something else.
Yeah, and they didn't have it on like the Raw on the network area. When they do Thursday Raw Thursday, it was still Raw, But this was, I guess, a different name.
And they weren't plugging it on
No,
Raw.
You would think that would have been plugged.
I think it would have been plugged, and I think they took it out.
Yeah,
because they're not putting it on network.
Probably. So
it's in that Benoit Ground Zero box.
Put everything in that box to fucking hide. Something good must have happened then. So join us on Sunday when we'll have Fall Brawl. We'll actually have clips for that one because that's actually on the network unless they took it off again. So for Billy, I'm Cav. We're out of time.